Haven't eaten bits of pipe, have you, Javed? Well, that was in a pipe, and now it's not in the pipe where it should be, is it? The colour of that dye there. Now, that's how you find out which manhole is connected to which and what pipe goes where. And what you need is the proper dye. It's a yes, Ricky, it's a yes. So it looks like Ricky might have solved this unsolvable rat problem already. Let's have a quick look. So what have you found, Rick? So this is, you're going to be working backwards from where you are, aren't you, on this?
So we're going backwards. This is our customer's house over here. He's had this extension built over here, and there's a manhole in this direction here that's been built over. And funnily enough, the problem started after a big flood, which happened outside here, where the water was up to the floor, the front door level, wasn't it? And what I believe has happened is that this manhole that's in that extension underneath the concrete floor is one of these manholes that isn't screwed down,
like this one,
and it's really easy to lift up, like just with your hand. And what I think's happened is when that flood had come through here, because basically what happened was someone lifted up the manhole in the street, and there's how many thousands of litres of water's in there.
Will you send us them videos, Javed? Yeah, we'll put them videos on here now.
Yeah, and you'll see right now how much water was going down that system, and that was the foul water, and that water would have come all the way back up here, backed up here. And what I think has happened is it's pushed the manhole cover off, which is underneath the new extension, and that's what I think has happened. And to prove my point, if you look on the camera now, you'll see when we come. I mean, that's just not great at all, really. If you see that, this is a 6-inch pipe, and that's a 4-inch pipe, and I mean, it doesn't take
not much of a gap underneath that, is it?
I mean, you're looking what, 3 inches? That's
it's
like
a bit of an optical illusion until you put the camera right next to it. Isn't it? There's like 2-inch gap underneath.
If you think about it, that's halving the diameter of the pipe. So if you was to ever try and plunge that or anything like that, you'd never be able to do it.
And then as you come back in it.
Yeah, and as soon as you look, this is all stuff that's been kept behind because the flow is being compromised by the gravel in the pipe.
In fact, if I just have a quick look here, Rick, you can see in the bottom right there, that's all full of gravel coming off Javed's house. As we come back, so there's no gravel, and then the water gets deeper as it starts to get constricted by the gravel. And that's the manhole.
And there's the manhole there.
There's the manhole, and then it's just gravel all the way back here, isn't it?
And yeah, I mean, it's got to be that, because if you just use common sense, that manhole is there. All the rats are getting out of that. They've dug, I believe, out the top of the manhole underneath the floor, because that's the only place they are in the house is underneath the floor.
And they kick backwards, don't they? So they kick back like that. And
it's filled up that manhole, and the only reason it hasn't got blocked is because it's 6-inch pipe. If that was 4-inch pipe, that would have been blocked a long time ago.
But annoyingly for us, we're going to have to get the jetter out, ain't we? But look how much it builds up now. It's a miracle this hasn't blocked. A miracle.
Yeah. I mean, it gets worse and worse, and that's because it's slowly, like a river would. I mean, is a river the same as a stream?
Yeah.
It would. It's going towards the lowest point, which obviously is eventually going to end up in this manhole. Which I mean,
and there we are. Look, and if you look with the light there, let me just zoom in.
You can see there's bricks in there.
Bricks.
And like we always say, if you're not eating house bricks, there shouldn't be.
Well, there's literally a house brick just in front of the camera there. Just in front of the lens. Right, let's. So
as for now, I would say that is
first problem.
First problem.
First problem out of maybe many.
But I think it would be the only problem, because like he says, the problem started after that flood, after the manhole covers were lifted in the street, which I believe has pushed that manhole cover up, and it started not long after that, because this extension has been built and he had no problems whatsoever, and the problem started as soon as the flood happened and as soon as the manhole cover was lifted.
And how long has this one gone on for, Javed? 2 years, is it? 2 years. 2 years of worry and sleepless nights. Same old story, innit? As you found us on YouTube, I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it's the same old story. People worry and sleepless nights, and you'll be wishing you got us in.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been using them sonic devices, didn't you?
Yeah.
When we turned up, we had to turn them off because I was hurting Ricky's ears.
Too much for my brain to take in.
I think I'd have rather lived with the rats than these sonic devices, like wee wee wee. But a lot of them, they're like high-pitched noises that we can't audibly hear.
Younger people hear them a lot.
Younger people. So I was having a dig, innit? Younger people can hear them. But it's true. But it's just proof that they don't work. They don't work. If you don't take my word for it, go on Natural England's website. We might put a link in the description below. And it basically says there, they're a load of tripe. They're a load of tripe. They do not work. What happens is sometimes you'll plug them in, the rats will go away for a bit. But really what's happened is someone's put a load of poison down next door, but you think you've cured the problem with your sonic device. They do not work. They do not work. Look at this, what we found then, Rick. So, a load of soil.
There's a crack in the side of the pipe there. We didn't see that until
Is it
just
a
now.
crack or is it an actual pipe?
It's hard to tell. It looks like a 4-inch pipe that's gone into the side of it, but that's 100% redundant because look. Yeah.
Because I thought it was this pipe here, but when you actually look at it, that's actually upstream of this pipe. So if it had been dug out from, say, a hole here, it would be washed down, wouldn't it, this way?
Yeah.
So that is under someone else's. It's not our customer's problem, but someone 2 or 3 doors up the street that way, they've got a rat problem. And if they haven't got it yet, it's about to start.
And see, with other people, they might fix this problem here, but then that problem back there will become a bigger problem because of
That's
rats.
why the truth is, the only way you can do this with a guarantee like we do, the only one we think in the world, but definitely in the UK, is you have to go the extra yard, and that's what we do. And that's what we do every time. It's definitely time for a big Jetta then.
Yeah.
Or should we try the little Jetta?
I think it's a feeble decision.
Okay, we'll get the big Jetta around then. Just had to work out which house to bring it through. So this dye, this drain dye that we use is super strong. This is the kind of situation you need it in because it's had to filter all the way through all this gravel and poo and stuff like that. And there it is, look. There we can see it. So if you want a good drain dye, use this drain dye right here. Now, we've got the big pressure jetter in here now, and look what's already come out. We've literally gone foot down there. All of that down there, that's all gravel. It's just a miracle that it hasn't been getting blocked up more often. And that's literally from just a couple of feet into that pipe, so we've got a long way to go yet. What are you doing now, Rick?
Let's get all this crap out of here and stop it getting blocked in the future.
Yeah. And what we'll do, we'll watch on here, and we'll see it come back. So there's the Jetta. So we're actually inside the manhole there, Rick. And Ricky's got the Jetta, which is a little bit further forwards there, that's causing all this atomisation. But there's 2 things that have happened here. Basically, up there, up that part, there'll be one of those, a manhole cover. And when that big flood that you saw on the other part of the video happened, the pressure has come along and popped that off, and all this gravel has come where they've been getting out between the gap that's been made. Or alternatively, one of these could be a redundant pipe. But definitely the fact that we've got all this gravel here no further than the manhole, well, that kind of tells us that's where the problem is. Let's come up with a fix. Carry on jetting then, Rick. Now we're eating bits of pipe, have you, Javid? Well, that was in a pipe, and now it's not in the pipe where it should be, is it? So that's another way that the rats are probably getting out somewhere underneath this property. I get all the lovely jobs, Rick. Yeah. We're going to have a look on the surface water on this one as well, because as you know, that big flood that happened in that street right there, well, we're going to have a look. I've just had a check around all of this with the other camera while Ricky's jetting all that out, but there's actually no gaps around that. I'm just going to run this down these pipes just to, because we always like to be doubly safe. Okay, just to explain a little bit more of how that flood caused this problem. This is the main sewer here, so I'm 9 metres away from the front of the properties, and that basically, if I push a little bit further, should I drop the camera down there? That there is the main, that in there is the main sewer, the old Victorian sewer. And what happened was when that hero came along and got rid of all the water, what happened was there's a manhole somewhere up here. You've seen those videos that we've shown you. Sorry about the wind, by the way. So that was one of those there in the road. There somewhere. So all that deluge of water pushed down this street down underneath the road, and it backfilled, and it went rushing up these pipes underneath our customers, straight past that manhole here. Let me show you.
It's a lot of water.
Woo, it's getting windy.
A lot of water.
Straight up there, it'll have filled this right up. This will have been full. Imagine the weight of the water on that, you know, pushing backwards. And when that manhole was lifted and released all the water off the road, all of that surged through as well. Popped the manhole off that's underneath his extension. Of course, you shouldn't build over manholes because this kind of thing can happen. It costs you a load of money. But we're going to solve this one now. I'm going to ask you about these sonic things. So these sonic devices. Will you tell me exactly what happened then?
I don't want to be on video though.
No, you don't.
I'll put you at the side.
We'll blur you out if you want. You want to be blurred out? Okay, this is our customer. He spent a small fortune on loads and loads of different things, but one of the things is those sonic devices. People are always asking us, do they work? Tell us the story about when you hear the rats. So you bought the sonic devices because you could hear the rats in the beams of the extension, yeah? What happened when you turned the sonic devices on that was doing our brains in when we got here?
It was quite loud.
It was quite loud.
You pointed out that it never works.
Yeah.
And I agree with you because it's been almost 10 days. What it said on the package, after about 10 days it will they'll go away, but it doesn't.
And you know why? Because what they're really hoping, these companies, is one of your neighbours put a load of poison down and you will put it down to their sonic device. They don't work. They honestly don't work. Otherwise, pest controllers would use them, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? We'd sell you a sonic device and then you go and buy it and then everyone would be happy.
If only it was that simple.
And think about it, all the rats are doing, if you follow me, Rick, the rats are basically getting from here, and that manhole is literally a couple of metres underneath there. They're getting into the steel beam and the sonic devices are plugged in there, over there and at the other side of that building. Hasn't made any difference, has it? What we're going to do now is we're going to get a couple of these big beastie pest interceptors, 6-inch rat flaps in. We tend to always, not saying you've got to, but if you're fitting a rat flap, think about fitting 2 because you've got 2 lines of defence then. We do a money back guarantee, as you know. That's why we fit 2 on. But really, do you want the rats back? Is it worth the investment? Because look where I've got to go and get now to go and fit these. Oh, it's a joy, Rick.
Do you want to show them the gravel while you was out the front?
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Feel how heavy that bag is. Oh, it was double the amount that you took out initially.
Christ.
And another interesting thing that I found out, see those white little pebbles? That's pebble dash, which is these pebbles that are here, which is those pebbles that are on the front of there, which is where the steel beam is. It's going across there. This is all new. All the pebble dash that's been chipped off the brickwork to get the wall knocked down to make it all a massive kitchen. All that pebble dash was under the floor. Then they've concreted over it. That pebble dash is now underneath the concrete floor, which has now ended up in that pipe, which is ended up in that bag. So we found that in the pipe.
Wow, that's lovely. Take that home for dinner. Just a 3-hour drive back now, plus the rush hour. Right, remember, 2 flaps is better than 1, but 1 flap is better than none.
You're gonna get that on a t-shirt next?
Maybe. Maybe.